decoration businesses greatly differ in size when it comes to the amount of employees working for the business. The industry really revolves around mom and pop shops, which typically are a couple or one owner with a couple employees, while other decoration shops that have been around for a longer period of time might have anywhere between 10 to 20 employees, or a larger shop might have anywhere up to 50 employees. Really, the more employees you get, the more complicated it gets. When it comes to hiring an employee, you must realize that labor is one of the most expensive expenses you're gonna have when running your business. The big thing is you want your employees to have work that is gonna be bringing in money immediately. You don't want to really have them working on things that might potentially be bringing in money unless you have the marketing dollars to spend on that potential. So, before you actually go out and start hiring employees, it's a good idea to know where all the resources are as far as outsourcing, because with the technology and the internet, it is much easier to get a lot of things done that typically had to be done in-house. For instance, one of the more expensive people to have in a custom decoration business that nearly everyone has, whether they're small or large, is some type of graphic artist. A digital artist that can help prepare artwork or create original artwork to be sold is not cheap. A graphic artist is going to charge between $15 and $25 an hour, and often even want a royalty if you're actually reselling their designs. So by hiring a graphic artist full-time to be in your custom decoration shop is something that you should really think fully through, because with the ability to outsource through freelancers and a software program, the website called Fiverr.com, you can have a lot of artwork things done that used to cost hundreds of dollars done for $5 to $20. Again, our favorite website to use is called Fiverr.com. On there you have numerous people all across the world who are willing to do things for $5. And one of the more common things that they will do for $5 is manipulate artwork. Often you can send them essentially a hand-drawn sketch piece of artwork and ask them then to convert it to a vector, which is what we need to be able to screen print it. And essentially for $5 to $20, depending on the complexity of the artwork, that design will be turned from a hand-drawn image on a piece of paper to an actual digital file that can be then printed or converted to digitized to actually then be sewn. So when it comes to artwork, we really need digital files, and Fiverr is a great place to do that. And it's again also a great place to have artwork to be digitized to be sewn using an embroidery machine. Digitizing, just like vectorizing artwork, used to be very expensive because of software and so forth, taking much more time to actually manipulate. Now, because the software has become more efficient and you have marketplaces like Fiverr, you can actually outsource the job at a much cheaper price. Just like vector work, digitizing is going to really be based around the complexity of the design, and that's going to range between $5 and maybe $25 depending on who you work with. Next, another great thing to be able to outsource is using somebody like us at PrintFace. When it comes to wanting to offer numerous type of decoration processes, we're a great partner as far as contract fulfillment. Before you actually start offering direct-to-garment printing and you want to actually buy the equipment and put it in your shop, what you ought to consider doing is making a smaller margin and just outsourcing it through PrintFace. By first establishing a demand, you know that your risk is much lower. Once you actually know that the demand is there, you can buy the equipment yourself and gain back a much higher margin. But before you actually invest in all that equipment, it's a good idea to test the waters by outsourcing it through a business like ours who can fulfill it at a quick and low price for you while doing it all white labeled, so that it looks like you still are doing all the work, you're just not making as much money because you're not really doing hardly any work other than bringing the sale to us. Again, there are many different tools you can use to make your business much more efficient as far as software and outsourcing, but you just hiring employees becomes very, very costly, and managing all of the legality requirements is also very complicated. As soon as you bring on one employee, you're going to have extra accounting expenses for your accountant to make sure that you're paying all the payroll taxes and so forth correctly. Again, when it comes to payroll taxes, for instance, you're going to be paying the city, the state, your local schools. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and it gets pretty complicated. So when you have employees, you just, again, realize you're going to have a lot more expenses than just their actual labor. And not only that, they're going to want other incentives to keep them around. You're going to have to come up with some type of benefits, such as health care or a 401k or Roth IRA, that you essentially are helping them save for retirement or making their lives easier so that they stick around. You do not want a lot of turnover. Turnover will essentially cost you much more money because you don't want to have to reestablish teaching people how your systems work and how really your business works at its core. So again, it's a good idea. Have a small team, then strategically grow. Realize that more employees does not necessarily mean more money. It typically means the potential of maybe more money, but definitely comes along with more stress and a lot more overhead expense that you won't have if you're just a really strategically smaller team. The minute that you get above 15 employees, all types of regulations come into effect as far as OSHA and all of the other departments that really oversee businesses and how they treat their employees. If you have any questions about how to build a management team for your decoration business, please do not hesitate contacting us. Thank you.